Alrighty, good morning. Sitting there going for my hike with my body beat down shirt from Michael. See, now he is the person that has motivated me to go on these excursions. So it is Tuesday morning. This is when I get things done around the house. I'm going to transplant some green peppers into the house. I was going to do it earlier, but it's still chilly out here. I actually have a shirt underneath this because it's quite chilly. So I try to take a different route every time I go on these hikes. Now, heading this direction, I call the non-scenic route. Really not much going on in this direction. I don't get interrupted too much. No puppy dogs, unfortunately. Got my field, all the flowers. Later on in the afternoon, the butterflies will be getting their last feast in there. Got the corn that's soon be coming down. Some of the fields have already been taken down. And fall is in the air. And actually, it's officially fall. So, enjoyable time of the year. It gets cooler at night. I sleep better when it's cooler. And the wife and I both look forward to this time of the year. Unfortunately, it doesn't last long enough. We get, if we're lucky, 3 weeks of fall, and then boom, winter. Or it seems that way. So, after my walk, I'll transplant those plants because I should be nice and warmed up by then. And then eat lunch, and then probably do some throwing on the road with the discus. Maybe play around some of the dumbbells out in the yard. And it'll be I-O, it's off to work I go. That's basically my week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays will be my live streams at the gym at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays will be my go for a hike down the road, go take a hike in the woods, do some throwing, and do some dumbbells and plate work outside, and maybe push-ups inside. And then Saturday is usually my day off, really to go enjoy myself. And Sunday, I like to go for that double time. It's just good money, and I hate to pass it up because you never know when it'll go away. Contract time is in March. I mean, the possibility of a strike, and then you never know what you're walking back into. So, as they say, you gotta grow the hay when the sun is shining. So right now, overtime is shining, and I'm growing it. So basically, had a really good day at the gym yesterday. Benches went wonderful. I was happy. I got an extra 2 reps on the 275. I got an extra rep on 325. I double rep 375, which I wasn't planning on it, but first one went up so easy. I said, let's try this again. Yeah, this 370 had went up slower the time before, and the same thing with 365. So I really feel I got some good recovery. I'm back to my 240 pounds of body weight, which I can tell I'm stronger at 240 than I'm at 233. You wouldn't think 7 pounds would mean much, but when you're 6'4", it does. So I'm looking forward to Friday's lift day and see what I can do then. My goal will be 14 at 275, 5 or 6 at 330, and then either a single or double at 380. I'm like, well, why don't you just jump up to 385? I said, well, slow and steady wins the race. When you're making gains with the program you're doing, no need to rush it. I got plenty of time. I'm not in a hurry. If I can get 5 pounds every week, in 10 weeks, that's about where I need to be. So you just have to kind of, keep the steady course. So right now, nice and peaceful out here. It's wide open. Bean fields. More bean fields. Cornfield. You can see these mature faster than this field does. This one could have been planted lately. But the temperature and the amount of sunlight tends to trigger them to when they ripen. And we grow a lot of corn and soybeans here in Illinois. Probably one of the major producers. So, getting the old cardio in, keeping the heart strong. Got a good night's rest, which is important. Had my weight gainer shake this morning, a cup of coffee. When I come back, I'll get breakfast going, do some more chores around the house. Then I make lunch, and I make food for work, which I bought a little bit more variety for this week. So I'm just not taking sandwiches. So yesterday I took potato salad with me. Today I'll probably take coleslaw. I got macaroni salad for Wednesday. And then I'll probably hit the store again. Because I'll just have to, basically when I hit the store, all they need to get is bread, meats for sandwiches, and milk and eggs. And I'm good. Everything else I'm pretty well stacked up on. Hope everybody down there in the southern states, especially Florida, are safe and well prepared for Hurricane Ian. It's coming. Make sure you got food, water, the working emergency radio. The emergency radios are really good because you hook into the weather mobile and they tend to be the most accurate. I mean, I always kick that up on my ham radio, and they have one that's coming out of neighboring town, and it definitely tells me when the bad weather's coming. Far more accurate than the 257 or 9, or even your weather apps. So I'd recommend to get yourself a really strong weather radio, or maybe, 2 ways. But have food and water, fuel if you have a generator. If you're in lowland areas, get out of there. Remember, the hurricane loses a lot of strength once it gets in the middle of the state. But I used to live down in Florida. I think I went through 2 hurricanes. I always went to the middle of the state, like St. Cloud. So you had a friend's place. And basically there it's just what I consider just a major thunderstorm. Not any different we get here in the Midwest. But on the beach and that water surge, whole different story. So make sure you're prepped and safe. I think the incitement starts tonight, and we'll roll through Thursday morning for you all in Florida. Of course, hurricanes can change direction, so anywhere in that area you might want to be prepared. Should always be prepared. If you're not prepared now, I don't know why, if you live there. Also remember, fitness is key to a happy life. You don't have to do the insane lifting I do. That's more of a personal choice than mine. But something just as easy as this, a nice morning walk. Not only is it good for your heart, but it's good for your body too, and your mind. Gives me time to kind of contemplate on what's going on for the week, what's planned, what do I got to look forward to. You know, gives me some me time to relax. So today, I'm not going to go on a very long hike. Like the last time I did it, I went over 4 miles, and I got way too motivated. But there's nothing wrong with that. I'd like to give a shout out to the other channels I watch. Casey Little Owl, Somebody Beat Down, Arc Wildman Survival, Bitter Critter, the Alaska Prepper, Rudy, Prepper Nation, John, Gray Man Prepping, Van City Prepping, Jennifer Cruz. I'll name them when I think of them. There's more out there. And they're the ones I try to catch as often as possible. It's a good community out there. But remember, rest, nutrition, and proper exercise, and consistent exercise. So if you haven't started for a while, start slow and low, and slowly ramp yourself up. Don't be in a hurry. I'm coming up to an area where I've seen a bunch of pheasants yesterday on the way home. You can tell they were they were this year's hatch, which is a good thing to see, because that tells me that possibly they'll get more established. Right now they're not established enough for me to hunt, but they're nice to see. We do have a lot of coyotes here which you have to deal with. But this is the first time I've seen, I think there's about 7 of them together. A couple roosters, a couple hens, you know, and some that were this year's hatch. So that was fun to see. Tells me that there's hope. So we got more bean fields, more corn fields. I'm just gonna walk up to this drainage ditch. It's gonna be about as far as I go today, and come back. The whole idea was just to get the blood moving. This will probably only be about 1.5 miles. And just enough I got 12 minutes in, so it'll be over 20 minutes. I say keeping your heart rate up over 20 minutes is good for cardio, so I've got that taken care of. I got a pretty brisk pace going, and it is beautiful. It's about 60 degrees right now. Like I said, I had to wear 2 t-shirts. You don't want to underdress, or you don't want to overdress either, because you get hot. If you dress in layers, then you can always strip down as you heat up and add back as you warm up. So here's the drainage ditch, kind of low right now, so they haven't taken any rain. So they were actually able to mow it. That's a rarity. Usually it's pretty difficult to mow. It looks like it's dried completely. So anytime that ground like this dries up, it's almost worthwhile to check it out, because you get a lot of erosion. From the water running. And a lot of times it will re-expose, you know, rocks or arrowheads or things like that. Now, I wonder if there's still water in here. Nope, looks like it's dry. So here's an area I haven't been before. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bird nests. So that's the first time I've been down here. You can see when it does rain, it gets a pretty good amount of water running. Otherwise the mud would be really caked in here. But here it would, I didn't have so many weeds I had to go through. It exposes the ground. And I suppose if this was completely clear, you might find arrowheads and things like that. You never know. Oh, kind of neat. Little exploring there. So they mow around the cornfields. I don't know why. I wish they'd just leave them up as habitat. I don't think it's really affecting the corn. At least pheasants would have a place to stay. The problem is once these fields get taken down, they really got nowhere to hide. And that makes them afraid of coyotes. You know, all that field there, if they wouldn't mow until the spring, would do wonders. But, you know, it's their land. Maybe it'll grow high enough before the end of the growing season. But another beautiful day, I tell you. This summer has been a great summer. Really can't complain about anything. You know, hot, it's fine. It's supposed to be hot in the summer. But a lot of sunny days. Garden did extremely well. Like I said, I'm getting ready to dig the pepper plants up, and then I'm going to have to trim them down. There's a YouTube video I'm going to re-watch tonight. So I will put them in the 2.5 gallon buckets I have now for it, and hit them with some water. If you watched my video on the MacBean farms and prepping yesterday, you can see this one grow bag of pepper plants. They were really wilted and depressed. So I watered them, and this morning they're back to where they need to be. So one thing with grow bags is the water does filter through them pretty fast, so you got to make sure you keep them well watered. I did 5 bags of potatoes, which I'm still eating those potatoes. They did extremely well. Looks like I got Hicks gas coming up behind me. Let me see if he's going to talk to me or not. Actually, there's one of the farmers. You'll have more trucks and tractors on this road than anything else. But yeah, I did probably got about 120, 130 potatoes from them. I'll do more next year because they did so well. I did put a zucchini in the grow bag. It's just not enough soil. They need more dirt around them than a 30 gallon can provide, so I won't do that again. Tomatoes did well. Pretty much 1 plant per bag. So peppers, potatoes, and tomatoes will be in the grow bags. And then I might do some carrots and other crops and some other ones, just because if they're high, they'll keep the rabbits out of it. I put one in kind of a planter, and it did well. So I did order another 6 grow bags. They came. I had one tear on me. I'm going to see if I can repair it. But duct tape, might be kidding myself, but I'm going to give it a try. See if it should still be able to hold dirt. And once I get the dirt in there, I can just go around it. And that'll be good for maybe one more season. I did get them when they were on sale. That's one thing when you're buying from Amazon is you gotta keep an eye on the stuff you want and keep checking the prices. They fluctuate. You know, currently the blue jeans I buy, I think are $55. I usually get them anywhere from 30 to 35 bucks. Just gotta keep watching them. It's not something I in desperate need of, but when they drop down, they're 20, 25 bucks less, I pick up a pair. It's well worth it. Now, let me kick over here. Got another vehicle coming down the road. Let's see, with those grow bags, they were about 10 bucks cheaper than they usually were, so I grabbed a bunch of them. And we ate good this year. Fresh veggies is nothing better than having fresh vegetables. So a good walk today. But I'm making up, but I'm not taking in distance, I'm making up in speed. So I am walking at a faster pace than I usually do. And you burn the same amount of calories, whether you walk, jog, or run a mile. Same amount gets burned. It's just how fast you finish. So I'm going to utilize to keep the heart rate up a little bit higher, and then this will keep me motivated for the transplanting of the plants. I'm going to film that, and that will be on my Farms and Prepping channel. This one I'll probably put on both, just because here. I mean, it is fitness, but it's also farms, and just enjoying the great outdoors. On Prepper Nation this morning, they're complaining how kids are in terrible shape. Not all of them, but a lot of them are, because they're not outside. They're in playing. Hell, not just kids, young adults, probably even older adults, are just in front of the Xbox all the time. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with playing a Xbox game every now and then, or PlayStation, whatever it is, but not 40 hours a week. That's ridiculous. You need to go outside and get active. I was talking to somebody in the military, and they said, damn, problem with people's bones breaking. I'm going, are you kidding me? How can their bones be breaking? They're so weak. They never exercised. And then they're going to sit there and put them through boot camp, and well, they can't hang. They never did that. If you're athletes, that's a whole different story. So, I guess my thing is get out there and move. Walk, run, jog, yoga, Pilates, lift, stairs, do something. Remember, your body was designed to be active. Evolution put us upright for a reason. Generally a human in shape can walk further than a horse. Not as fast, but we're overall our strength abilities put us on par, or if not above, most of the other animal kingdom. We're going to take on a bear? No. But we have opposable thumbs, and we can make fortresses, we can make weapons to protect us from that bear. So things like that. Sitting and just not moving, and making the love seat your residence is longer, if not longer, than you spend in bed. It's just not good for you. Get up, move around, explore the areas, see what's out there. Look for animals and critters thrown by. Enjoy the wildlife that's out amongst you and be aware of it. Be aware of your traffic. I'm out in the boonies, so I kind of keep an eye on every type of vehicle that goes by. And I can pretty much tell who's local and who's not. I know they use this road as a shortcut to get between two towns. But then again, I do know what all the neighbors drive. So pay attention to that. And I just like being outdoors. When the sun's out, I'm out. I just can't sit in the house when the weather's like this. The reason I'm in the house is I'm cooking food or I'm going to bed. Otherwise, generally if weather permits it, I'm outdoors. Enjoying it. Looks like there's Joe coming up. So he's my second nearest neighbor, about 3/4 of a mile away. I see him on the road often. And those are the woods that I'm in. So last time, let's see if I can zoom in on it. We went back to about there. I think I'm going to go further back on my next trip and get on the other side of that creek and see what's there. Might have to be a little quieter because it's not my neighbor's property. I'll have to make sure it's not posted. I don't think it is, but I think it'll be more of a rugged walk than my last one. What I'll probably do is I'll just take the bean field all the way down there before I jump into the thick of it, because that one creek is going to be hard to get across. I think it's going to take some major physical effort, which I'm up for. So it looks like, what I got, 27 minutes in already. Looks like I'm getting in a half-hour walk. It's about perfect. Now I'll go set up in the garden. We'll do that one. And then it'll be time to cook me up some bacon, some potatoes, some green peppers, and eggs. That's good nutrition. And there might be some time just to sit on the deck and spend some quality time with Binks. I did this morning, but she got a little frisky with those claws. In the fall, it's a little easier to deal with it because, you know, I'm wearing a flannel and jeans, so then she really doesn't get into my skin. But in the house, I mean, I didn't even have a t-shirt on. She started getting way too comfortable, so yep, gotta go. So she'll dig in the claws, and I'll kind of give her a good grab, and she gets the hint. She'll look at me like going, "Uh-oh." I said, "Yep, you're overdoing it, kitty." But she's a good cat, considering she used to be a feral cat. Or not feral, used to be just not friendly, and now she's attached to me. Yeah, I can't say enough about days like this. It's how, you know, makes it worth the struggle of owning this much land. It is a financial burden to me to keep it up, but that's why I work my overtime. I see my overtime makes the car payment and the house payment, and then the rest of the salary is for incidentals. That's why I do it. Someday I'll retire. I have no idea when. The year 2525, if I'm still alive. And there's the poor oak tree I keep beating up. Hopefully I'll get more accurate, so I stop hitting it. The ones I planted is a sapling. That's doing really well. Planted all these trees from saplings. Now they're getting big. And then those trees out there, those I dug up at my parents' place. They were only about a foot tall. And those two oaks I dug up back in the woods. They didn't do much for the first 10 years, but now they're growing really well. Maples I planted as seeds. those 2 pine trees I dug up at my grandma's place in Traverse City, Michigan. Has just, you know, foot tall saplings. There's one I pulled out of the ground at my buddy's place in West Virginia. There's my pride and joy, the big pin oak I sit underneath. Alright, so I got everything going. It's time to collect the buckets and do some transplanting.